Hey guys, today I'm back with another video, and today this one is suggested by Gaming with Mike. He says, can you do a video about predicting the NBA playoffs and finals? Well, as you can see here, I'm in uh my editing app that I use for thumbnails, to make thumbnails. So I have this playoff bracket here, and here are the 16 teams in the playoffs. And the elephant in the room, if you see, is Portland Trail Blazers over the Memphis Grizzlies at the 8th seed for the Western Conference. I'm gonna get this out of the way real quick. Personally, because there is a play-in tournament, right? There's a play-in tournament if you're like 4 games out of the 8th seed. So I believe the Blazers, the Pelicans are like 3.5 games out of the 8th seed. I can see the Blazers staying consistent enough to beat the Grizzlies in that play-in tournament. So this is what I think is gonna happen. Of course, if it's the Grizzlies, there's not much difference anyways, because it is the 8th seed. But I'm gonna start with the easy Eastern Conference. Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic in the 1-8 matchup. Bucks easy. I don't see a reason to say no. Bucks in 4. Yeah, simple sweep. The Magic, they just don't have the kind of firepower to go up against Giannis, Chris Middleton, and the rest of the boys, man. It's just like, and all this, by the way, before I continue further, all this is my opinion. So, it's my own opinion, alright? And I'm just assuming that no serious injuries are gonna happen. So it is an ideal scenario, alright? But if your opinion differs from mine, it's alright. It's alright. Leave them in the comments. I would love to read them. Alright, so Bucks Magic. Bucks is just gonna wipe the floor with the Magic, unless like DJ Augustine is gonna go off like crazy, just like how he did last year in Game 1 against the Raptors. I don't see the Bucks losing this. At most, they just turn off for one game and realize that they want to get out of this round as quick as possible so they can have a lot of rest. So easy Bucks in 4. I don't see any arguments about that. Now the 2-7 matchup at the bottom right, we have the Raptors versus the Nets. The Nets are missing Kyrie, KD. I'm not too sure. I think Dinwiddie's not playing. DeAndre Jordan's not playing. Garrett Temple's not playing. Okay, Raptors in 7. Raptors in 4, my bad. Raptors in 4. Simple. The Nets, they're missing too many players. They're just missing too many players. And this season wasn't really the Nets' time to shine even. The Nets really were built for next season, because KD, they needed time for his Achilles to heal up. And this is really just a stepping stone of a year. Kyrie, hopefully he can make it work next season. But as for this season, this playoffs, the Nets are missing far too many players. Dinwiddie is so important to them. And Caris LeVert is just gonna have like 50 shots a game. He's gonna have every single shot. And that's not gonna beat Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, and the rest of the boys. They're just no chance at all. Unless Caris LeVert goes for like a 60 piece. Yes, 60. I don't see the Nets even taking a game. Now for the 3-6 matchup, we have the Celtics versus the Sixers. Now this is much more of an interesting series. The Sixers don't have much depth, while the Celtics have quite a bit of depth. Sixers really top heavy. If you were to ask me whose starting 5 is better, I'd say the Sixers edge it out very slightly, very slightly. Although Celtics, hey man, Tatum, Kemba, and I'm a big fan of Theis, but Theis is not gonna be able to do anything against Embiid. Since the only thing, all right, my pick's the C's. My pick is the C's. All right, why I pick the C's? I would say Celtics in 7. Celtics in 7. It's so tight. It's just so tight. The seasons prior to this, the Celtics always had Al Horford, which is like the Embiid stopper. Am I right? So, but now Al Horford is on the Sixers, and I don't know. Just the Sixers just had such a turbulent season. I mean, with they don't have much shooting. They lost JJ Redick, they lost Bellinelli, Asan. So many of those pieces that made last year's playoff team so good, they're not there anymore. And I know Brett Brown said that Simmons had the power forward, now we're playing amazing. Come on. I can see them winning. I can see the Sixers going to the next round, and I can see the Celtics going into the next round. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be really, really tight. But I think the Celtics will edge it off in the end. Tatum is probably gonna have like a wonderful game, having to go up against Josh Richardson, I guess. Kemba. I don't know how the matchups are gonna look like. I don't know. It's really tough to call this one. Hey, tell me what you think, because it's really tough for me to call. And for the 4-5 matchup, we have the Heat versus the Pacers. Now the Pacers, I believe they have everyone back except Oladipo, but Oladipo, there's a 50-50 chance for him to actually come back. But Oladipo, even when he was playing, he wasn't amazing. He was decent, but he wasn't amazing coming back from that injury. So the Pacers, they don't realistically have like Brogdon. I'm not sure if he's playing too, by the way. Brogdon, Sabonis, and but that's pretty much it. Although Sabonis is really, really good, I really like Sabonis. But the Heat, with Butler, with Bam Adebayo, with Duncan Robinson, one of the best shooters this season, and the Heat are going through. That's my pick. Going through in, I'd say 5 games. I see the Pacers. I can see the Pacers winning the series, but I can see them taking a game or two. But I don't think they can take that many games. So the Heat are just too good for the Pacers, in my opinion. Alright, so that's the first round for the East. Let's go to the West. Lakers versus Blazers. Now this really, really hinges on Dame. Everything hinges on Dame. If Dame can play like last year, round 1 against the Thunder, the way he played against Russ, there's like a very slim chance the Blazers can get past the Lakers. But honestly speaking, the Lakers, I'd say they win in 6. It's gonna be a really well thought out series between LeBron and Dame. But other than Dame, who else is on that Blazers team? What, Melo, Whiteside, CJ? Nah. Two of any of those combined won't make up Anthony Davis. So I just don't see the I don't see the Blazers being able to fight out of it unless Dame just goes Super Saiyan, absolute Ultra Instinct mode. Unless he does that, I don't see the Blazers going through. Then we have the 2-7 at the bottom, Clippers versus Mavericks. Now this is, if there were to be an upset, that's not a 4-5 upset, right? Because 4-5, they're basically the same. If there were to be a major upset, I would say it's this one. Clippers versus Mavericks. I'd say Clippers in 7. Clippers win in 7. And why 7? I mean, although the Mavericks are missing Dwight Powell, Luka and Porzingis were starting to gel, and that whole Mavericks team had just an amazing offense, like one of the best in history, wasn't it? I mean, you have Luka, you probably can do anything. But you have Kawhi, you probably could do anything as well. Kawhi, PG, Montrez, Pat Beverly. This series is either Clippers in 4 or Clippers in 7. Right? If the Mavericks just start shooting crazy from 3, I can see them blowing out the Clippers team. Because, I mean, the Clippers team, they're great defensively. Offense can be a little bit smoother. But Kawhi, PG are just gonna be there to fill out the offense. I don't know. I really wanna have an upset in my bracket, but it's okay. Clippers in 7, yes. Clippers in 7. The 3-6 matchup now. Nuggets versus Rockets. Rockets. Would this be an upset? Does this count as an upset? I'm not too sure, considering all the teams, all the Western Conference teams are so close together, and this can easily go 7 as well. And in my idea, in my head, I would say Rockets in 6. I wouldn't say 7, but it can easily go 7 with Denver winning it out. I mean, Denver's problem is that they probably won't have anyone to guard the 5-out small ball from Rockets, and the Rockets' problem is probably they just can't defend Jokic. But Jokic did slim down, so maybe Covington will have a slightly easier time. But that's just fun talk right there. Jokic is gonna absolutely feast on this Rockets team without a center, but this Rockets team is absolutely gonna feast as well because Jokic, the Nuggets just don't have that defensive anchor. You're gonna say Paul Millsap, you might even say Jeremy Grant, but they're not that defensive anchor that can stop Russ going out crazy, passing it to PJ Tucker in the corner, Ben McLemore in the corner, and making it go. They don't have the perimeter defenders for both Russ and Harden. Maybe you can say Torrey Craig, but come on, Torrey Craig couldn't even guard Dame. So is he gonna be able to guard James Harden? I don't think so. All that being said, James Harden does not show up in the playoffs. Russ is a bit sus at times, so who knows? But this is the last year, at least for me. If Harden doesn't perform in the playoffs, this is the last year for me to believe in Harden. If he doesn't show up from this, in the future, I would assume Harden is just like a role player. I don't know. So that's again, another series that could easily go either way, but I'm gonna go Rockets in 6. And Jazz Thunder, 4-5 matchup for the West. Thunder. Why the Thunder? The Jazz had just so many problems. Bogdanovic is out. I'm pretty sure Bogdanovic was absolutely mint for them this season. Conley, absolutely a failure this season. And Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, they have I don't know what their personal terms are like. Will it affect their performance on the court? Who knows? Hopefully it won't, but you never know. You just never know. And with so many issues with the Jazz, I personally don't see them being able to beat such a disciplined OKC side. Simple as that. Especially losing Bogdanovic, who's just been so consistent for them, and having the chemistry issues between Mitchell and Gobert, I don't see it beating OKC without injuries, without chemistry issues that we can see. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first round done. Let's go back to the East. Bucks versus Heat. Now this is interesting because the Heat, I believe the Heat beat the Bucks twice this season. I can't quite remember, but they did beat them. They are excellent defensively. Bam, Butler. I can't remember anyone else, my bad. But Bam is one of the few players that can go up against Giannis. He's one of the few players that can go up against Giannis. If Giannis wants to shoot trees, let him shoot trees. Because Bam is able to hold his own when Giannis goes into the paint. And I believe Miami is like one of the best 3-point shooting teams. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, these two guys, next splash bros, who knows? But Giannis and the Bucks pretty much love to give out the 3-pointer. So it's really hard for me to say, the Heat are gonna win because the Bucks have just been so good. But I'd say Bucks in 7. Because the way the Bucks, their defensive scheme giving up so many trees, it's gonna hurt them some of these games. Straight up gonna hurt them. And have Bam Adebayo being such a good defender for Giannis, Butler can easily match up against Chris Middleton, and everyone else can play their role just to stop the Bucks from shooting the three, I can see this going the other way. I can see this going out the other way, but I just can't. I just can't overlook the Bucks. I just can't say the Bucks will lose, because they are just so dang good this season. But I can see them losing. So, but they're still going to the conference finals for me. Now the Celtics versus the Raptors. Now this is interesting, isn't it? This is very interesting. I didn't really think about this. You have Kyle Lowry, Pascal, and the boys going up against Tatum and Kemba and the boys. Both teams really well coached. Both teams have good depth in their rotation, and both teams have like equally good players. So this is a tough one. I have no idea which one to say. I would say the Celtics, but even then I can't really say the Celtics, because once I say the Celtics, I'm thinking, well, the Raptors could easily as well take down the Celtics, as how the Celtics can easily take down the Raptors. Yeah, I put myself on a spot here. Ooh, I'd say the C's, simply because maybe I feel the Raptors, although they do have championship DNA, I feel a lot of that DNA was taken away when Kawhi left. That's it. The Celtics have shown in the past that they are able to do it in the playoffs, taking LeBron to 7, and that's without Kyrie, maybe for the better as well. Now they have Kemba, a much better Tatum, a much better Jaylen Brown, defensive stud Marcus Smart. Yeah, I feel like they can just about edge the Raptors in 7. And if the Raptors win, the Raptors go ahead, Raptors can do the deed as well. I won't be surprised if the Raptors win, basically. Alright, so let's go to the Western Conference side. Lakers beat the Thunder. I don't think there's much argument there. No offense to the Thunder, but they're just gonna, if this matchup happens, they're just gonna get spanked. They're gonna get spanked in 5. I don't see it. I can see Chris Paul going crazy, taking a game, but so deep into the playoffs, I expect Chris Paul's hamstring to just give out. Oh, I'm so sorry, but yeah, that's pretty much it. No one on that OKC team can defend AD. No one on that OKC team can defend LeBron. That's pretty much it. So Lakers in 5, maybe even in 4. Clean sweep or gentleman sweep, it doesn't really matter. Now for the other side of that bracket, we have Rockets versus Clippers. Again, the difference with the Clippers and Mavericks versus the difference between the Rockets and Nuggets versus the Rockets and Clippers is that the Clippers actually have good defenders for Harden and Russell, and they can go small. Montrezl is basically a 4 playing the 5, and he is a 5, but he's in a 4's body, you know what I'm saying? And they can put Kawhi on Harden, they can put PG on Russ. Oh, that would be a fun matchup, wouldn't that be? And then the rest of the team just got the shooters. Simple as that. You know, I just can't. It's the perfect matchup for the Clippers, in my opinion. It's just the perfect matchup for the Clippers. The Rockets don't have anyone to guard Kawhi, PG, Montrezl. Yeah, I add Montrezl into that mix because Montrezl is a beast. He's an absolute beast. And I can't see, unless Harden goes off crazy, I just can't see them beating the Clippers. So my prediction, Clippers in 5. Yes, Clippers in 5. So the conference semifinals for the Western Conference isn't as interesting as the Eastern Conference semifinals. But now both teams. Now both finals, conference finals. Bucks versus Celtics. Is it too boring to say the Bucks? Is it too boring to say the Bucks? I feel in this my bracket here, the hardest team for the Bucks to go up against is the Heat. So I feel if the Bucks can beat the Heat, I feel they can beat the Celtics. I easily feel that they can beat the Celtics. Although it's not gonna be too easy, but I feel the matchup for the Celtics is a lot worse when going up against the Bucks. They don't have Al Horford to go up against Giannis. Daniel Theis, for as much as I like Daniel Theis, he's not gonna hold it down against Giannis. I'm just sorry. No one on that Celtics team can go up against Giannis. They can put bodies in front of him, Samuel Ojule, Gershon Yabusele, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. If they still had Al Horford, this may be a different conversation, but they don't. So Bucks in 6 in my opinion. But so long as they don't just miss in the playoffs. Now, Lakers Clippers. This could easily go either way. Yet again, this whole playoff bracket is just amazing. It can go either way like 7 times now. It's absolutely beautiful. Lakers Clippers. Do I want to bet against the King? That's my dilemma. You know, LeBron has always shown that he can turn it up whenever he wants to. You know, and he has the 3 months break to go into this playoffs. Everyone has a 3 months break, but LeBron having a 3 month break, with him being extra motivated after the MJ documentary. I don't know, man, but it's really hard. It's too difficult to say. Clippers having Kawhi, PG both of them can interchange with LeBron. Even Pat Bev can hold his own against LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I feel like going against the curve here, and I feel like the Clippers are going to the finals. Just because I feel that Kawhi, PG can handle LeBron. I feel like they can handle LeBron. If you may be asking, what about AD? It's so difficult. I feel that if you can handle LeBron, you can handle the Lakers. Since they have no other real good shot creators. I do not want to hear J.R. Smith. I do not want to hear Dion Waiters. I do not want to hear Alex Caruso. Caruso's the GOAT, but he's not going to be able to do shit against Pat Bev. So I'd say the Clippers. Just out of pure gut. That's just my gut feeling. That's straight up my gut feeling. Clippers in 7, because when I say 7, I'm saying that the series could easily go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so hard to bet against the King. But this Clippers team is just so good. It's so good. But the Lakers team is great as well. Don't get me wrong. But the Clippers team, I feel, has an edge on them. Now, finally, we have the Clippers versus the Bucks. And this is where I think the Clippers will end up winning it all. Kawhi, PG can rotate on Giannis. Montrezl is probably a decent defender for Brook Lopez, if you were to ask me. I never said Brook Lopez in this video at all, because I feel Brook Lopez is a matchup nightmare for most bigs. Except maybe Bam, actually, but Bam is going to be preoccupied for Giannis anyways. But the Clippers, their guns have more protection on them, and their guns have more bang on them, in my opinion. Although Giannis is basically a RPG, while Kawhi and PG are probably a minigun. You know, miniguns are amazing, but an RPG is insane. But having 2 miniguns and 5 AK-47s versus an RPG, 1 AK-47, and I don't know, 5 pistols. I go for overall quality. The Bucks team in general, it's Giannis, Chris Middleton, and the boys. But the Clippers team is Kawhi, PG. You have Lou Will off the bench. I completely forgot about him. You have Lou Will off the bench, who could easily be an all-star. Last year, maybe this year, but last year he was close to being an all-star. Clippers in 6, in my opinion. Doc Rivers is a good coach. He's gonna look at how Kawhi he didn't stop Giannis, but slowed down Giannis in the conference finals last season. So he's gonna learn how to do that against Giannis. They're probably gonna build a wall. If Giannis starts shooting threes, so be it. But I just can't see the Bucks going past the Clippers. So that is my playoff bracket. It's all my opinion. I hope you all can understand that, and leave your own opinion in the comments down below. I'm really interested to see what y'all think, and I'm really interested to see what y'all think about this video in general. I barely ever do in real life basketball talks, because my opinion really doesn't matter. But the gaming with Mike asked me to do this, so I thought, sod it, let's do it, because I really enjoy it. But anyways, that is the video, and I guess I always want to do this outro, by the way, so if it's all my opinion anyways, but at the end of the day, it's just me being totally biased. See y'all next time.